49ers update from the In-N-Out in Clovis, which I have to say is taken over by 49ers fans. And Christian McCaffrey himself was in line. He's going to be 100% healthy this week. One thing I do have to say is that every single In-N-Out Burger parking lot, like literally every one, is always the seventh circle of hell when it comes to traffic. You can see the drive-through line behind me. But first stop in California, In-N-Out Burger, Christian McCaffrey, 100% healthy. That's good because the 49ers need to resuscitate their short passing game. We've made it out of the In-N-Out parking lot. We're on Highway 168 on the way up to Shaver Lake and then Huntington Lake and seeing tomorrow. Oh my goodness, look at the cows over on the right. Lombardi herself is here. She's got a mic on.
No.
You can talk more than that.
No.
How's California treating you so far? How was the In-N-Out Burger?
It was good.
You went double-double this time.
Yes.
You ate a lot of cows this time. Anyway, Christian McCaffrey, 100%. The 49ers are in a position where if you look at the numbers from last season, I like to compare this to the other two Super Bowl quarterbacks. So the most recent three Super Bowl quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy. There's a nice truck. We're back in the valley, baby. Anyway,
we have trucks in Tennessee.
Yes, you do have trucks in Tennessee.
Big trucks in Tennessee. Well, don't act like California and Fresno are the only place in the country that has big trucks. We have big trucks in Tennessee.
No, but I think that California, as we drive into what looks like a storm cloud here on Highway 168, this is what they call the 4 lanes. Those of you from the 559 are very familiar with the 4 lanes all the way up to Shaver Lake, Huntington Lake, Sierra Summit, now known as China Peak, but this is it, the 4 lanes. Anyway, I want to talk about Christian McCaffrey as we get this view, because when you look at the statistics from last season, the 49ers threw the fewest passes behind the line of scrimmage of any team in football. And we're going to be able to watch Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts tomorrow. Mahomes threw the most passes behind the line of scrimmage of any quarterback in football. So people have this completely wrong. They think that Mahomes is airing the ball out and Brock Purdy is some kind of check down merchant. The guy who's creating merchandise out of short throws is Patrick Mahomes. He had 135 attempts behind the line of scrimmage last year. Brock Purdy only had 44. Purdy, just like 9% of his throws were behind the line of scrimmage. Patrick Mahomes, over 21%. So the point here is that the 49ers lost efficiency because Purdy was at like 14% in 2023 when he was historically good as a quarterback. The 49ers lost a lot of efficiency when Kyle Shanahan stopped throwing the ball short. And I think the reason that this happened was because Christian McCaffrey was hurt for most of this season. That is what you miss with Christian McCaffrey, is the trust and the dependability of the short game. And it's the short game that Patrick Mahomes is riding to massive success with Kansas City on a year-in, year-out basis. I mean, he's been leading the league in most of the past 5 seasons in passes completed behind the line of scrimmage. So for all of this video game mentality, people saying, oh, he's got to throw the ball further downfield. Brock Purdy's air yards per attempt have actually gone up in his 3 seasons as quarterback, from like 7.8 his first year to 8.6 or 8.8 his second year, 2023, to 9.0. He was in the top 5 as far as airing it out downfield. But that didn't, in 2024, that didn't necessarily translate to his best efficiency. He was historically good in 2023. 49ers need to find the right mix of short passing, intermediate passing, and long passing in 2025 to get back to those 2023 levels. And I think that we started this talking about Christian McCaffrey and the In-N-Out Burger parking lot. We saw Christian McCaffrey in the In-N-Out Burger line.
Allegedly.
I mean, here's evidence. We actually saw him. You said that this tracks. One in 4 people in that establishment had 49ers gear on. So it wasn't surprising that we saw Christian McCaffrey himself. But the 49ers need McCaffrey himself. They need Isaac Guerendo. They need these guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield, who can deliver these quick screens, or not even quick screens, just screen passes in general. The 49ers need the short game in the pass game to be able to balance things out, because that's what diffuses blitzes. Hey, if you can't run the football, and there are going to be games when you can't, when defenses are lining up 5-down linemen and taking away the run game, the appropriate way to diffuse the pass rush is through the quick passing game. And through the first 3 months of the season in 2024, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan had called the fewest screen passes in all of football. Literally the fewest screens. They finally figured things out later. You saw in the game against the Chicago Bears, the big win for the 49ers, you saw Isaac Guerrero make a few catches on screens. You saw George Kittle make some catches on screens. So they got back to where they needed to be. But I think this was the one spot where Kyle Shanahan struggled most. And this was maybe his worst season play calling as a head coach. He was not able to deliver enough gimmies the way that Andy Reid is delivering gimmies for Patrick Mahomes. Another quarterback who is really, really succeeding right now with shorter throws is Josh Allen, the MVP, who's actually from this area. We're in the 559 right now. I know I hyped up this trip a lot on the live last night. We talked about Josh Allen winning the MVP a couple nights ago. Well, Josh Allen used to come up to Shaver Lake.
What?
Yes, I mean, he's from Fireball. He's just down the road. We landed in Fresno. Lombardi herself is still here. I was just reminded. She's doing a great job with the camera. Landed in Fresno. What was the first thing you wanted to do?
Go eat In-N-Out.
You wanted to go eat In-N-Out, yes. And then you were torn because the In-N-Out Burger parking lot had signs toward a Chick-fil-A drive-thru. So,
I wasn't torn. I had a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit for breakfast this morning. I already got my Chick-fil-A fix
which
today.
by the way, I planned things out more meticulously than you might imagine. I made sure you went to Chick-fil-A this morning because I knew that the Chick-fil-A was going to be by the In-N-Out Burger, and I knew that might create problems.
No, you're wild. Why would I land in California and want Chick-fil-A?
Because you haven't had Chick-fil-A in like 3 weeks.
But I had Chick-fil-A on the plane this morning. I already got my fix.
That's why I made sure you had the Chick-fil-A on the plane this morning.
I don't.
Everything for you is charted out.
I think you're full of baloney, sir. I think I had my Chick-fil-A breakfast this morning, and I was a happy camper. And every time we land in California, we get In-N-Out. I don't know what he's talking. Don't listen.
I'm not full of... or we get Taqueria Cancun, which we can feature at a later time.
Cancun.
Look at this. It looks like we're driving into... It's like this is like a scene from Lord of the Rings or something. We are literally driving up into the clouds. So when we were landing in the valley today...
Mordor.
Yeah, it's like a Mordor-like scene.
That's right, isn't it?
When we were landing in the valley today, the Thule fog, which is this has risen a little bit. We dropped down through this, and I told Margot, hey, as soon as we clear this fog, we're going to be landing. Like, the ground is going to be right there. Wasn't that kind of cool?
It's freaky.
You were freaked out by it?
Yeah.
I guess Tennessee just isn't as foggy, although there was the night where I couldn't land.
We're a landlocked state. We don't have
There was a
lot of
night,
fog.
though, that I couldn't land in Nashville because it was too foggy. We circled the airport 4 times, and then they said, if we can't land on this pass, we're going to have to land in Memphis. And I was like, please land on this pass. I don't want to have to land in Memphis. This is intense. Now we're like right in the thick of the Thule fog. So we're going to finish this show here in a few seconds. We're going to go right by Crestman's, and then we're going to wrap it up.
He's being a good driver.
I'm being a very good driver. This is why we have Driving with David, so I don't actually have to have the camera mounted somewhere. I have you doing this camera work. Bottom line, as I can't see anything. Wow.
Please don't say that out loud.
I mean, I'm driving within distance. Like, I have stopping distance in front of me.
I am younger. I can take over, I've got great vision.
I don't know if I could.
Vision.
I don't know if I could do your job right now, though. I'm going nice and slow.
Well, they don't need to film me.
Well, we do need to talk right now because what we see moving forward, this is the future, football-wise. We don't know what's going to happen this offseason. We're driving into the fog of war of the offseason.
Fog of war.
And
God, you men are so dramatic.
Well, this is a dramatic shot. So what are the 49ers going to do in as far as improving the short game? I think, we could talk all about the free agents, all about the draftees that the 49ers are going to bring in. But I think they already have all the tools they need in the building, personnel-wise, to, look, we're out of the fog. That's amazing. So now we're out of the fog of war. Now we know exactly what the 49ers are going to do this offseason. The 49ers have the tools to be able to deliver a good short passing game. I think one of the benefits of this offseason for the 49ers is that Kyle Shanahan has had time to reflect. Now he's out of the fog of war. He has time to clearly see.
The fog looks like smoke from the fire.
And this is where the Creek fire was. But Shanahan's going to have time to clearly see where he went wrong last year. He has a longer offseason to go after it. And I think incorporating the screens and a faster passing game and a shorter passing game is going to be what the 49ers need to do. Anyway, this is Cressman's coming up around the corner. When the Creek fire roared through here in 2020, it took out the entire gas station. But the good people here at Cressman's have rebuilt. Gas station is back. Unfortunately, you could see the tragic remains of the Creek fire all around us. It just came straight down this hill. Largest fire in California history at the time. But the community here at Shaver Lake and Huntington Lake has rebuilt. A lot of good 49ers fans in this area. Everybody, thanks for joining. We're going to be winding our way up the hill.
Mountain.
All the way. Yeah, I guess it is a mountain. It's the Sierra Nevada. We got a great view of the Sierra Nevada out of the plane. Why don't you take a look at that right now? Everybody take care.